Celine, and today I will present about coronavirus. First of all, what is coronavirus? Coronavirus is a group of related RNA viruses which cause diseases in mammals and birds. They cause respiratory diseases like SARS, MERS, and the novel COVID-19. Classification. From the subfamily Orthocoronavirinae in the family Coronaviridae.
This is the classification of SARS-CoV-2.
The structure. A characteristic of coronaviruses are that they have the characteristic round made of spike glycoprotein. It encodes 4 structural proteins, the nucleocapsid N proteins, the membrane M proteins, the spike S proteins, and the envelope E proteins, also several NSPs. Inside the capsid, which is a protective protein shell, there is an N protein bound to a single positive strand RNA, which allows it to hijack human cells. How can the coronavirus enter our body? The nose and eyes are the most likely entry points, and the mouth, as it is connected to our nose and lungs, also make it a possible entry point.
When we rub our eyes with contaminated hands or breathe in the droplets, it is how the virus enters our body through our eyes, nose, and mouth.
Analyze why this virus can be a pathogen. Well, 1, it is foreign to our immune system. 2, it stimulates our immune and adaptive immune response, lymphocytes, phagocytes, etc. And it also causes the COVID-19 disease, which is more dangerous to high-risk individuals. Compare this virus with influenza or other viruses. For the similarities, they are both respiratory diseases with wide ranges from asymptomatic, mild, severe, and rarely death. 4, they are both transmitted by contact, droplets, and vomit. For example, coughing, sneezing, and also infected surfaces. Differences. The speed of transmission between influenza and COVID-19. Influenza has a shorter incubation period and a shorter serial interval. The reproductive number of COVID-19 is understood to be between 1 to 1.5, much higher than the flu. Symptoms. COVID-19, 80% asymptomatic, 15% severe infection requiring oxygen, 5% critical infection requiring ventilation, are much worse than the flu.
These are the different symptoms between COVID-19 and influenza, from common, less common to rare.
Differentiate both direct and indirect transmission with this virus. Direct, contact from one person to another, and droplet transmission in close contact, for example when talking to each other or coughing onto another person. Indirect transmission, spread by air, airborne viruses, and by touching infected surfaces. Organize about our body defenses. The skin barrier prevents the virus from directly entering our body. As this is a new virus, we do not have any pre-existing antibodies. The lymphocyte B cells is then presented with an antigen from the helper T cell and gets activated. The plasma B cells produce antibodies which mark the pathogen for death. The innate immune response then becomes hyperactive. The macrophages is then activated and cytokine storm ensures. This causes an inflammatory response which can sometimes be deadly. Evaluate how this virus can cause a pandemic. A pandemic is when it crosses international boundaries and affects people worldwide. COVID-19 is very easily transmitted amongst people with just a cough, sneeze, and with an R number of 1 to 1.5. In this modern day and age, it is much easier to travel all over the world in just a matter of hours, specifically with air travel, which makes it easier for people to spread it to each other. Create a program that can decrease the virus. 1. Stay at home. By staying at home, you will limit possible contacts with other people who may spread the virus. 2. Wear masks. As COVID-19 is spread in the air and droplets, it is vital to wear a mask to both prevent yourself from spreading it and limit the chances of getting it from other people. 3. Avoid human interaction, at least physically. As the virus has a long incubation period, people might not know if they have it, and it is much safer to stay away from others as much as possible.